Hi everybody, just want to make a quick video today, just something I want to talk about real quick. First of all, there is a lovely story going around, it's gone viral on social media and on the headlines about a story of the Cork Fire Brigade. They rescued a dog, and I just want to show you this real quick here on the computer. Just show you this picture here. I should have probably printed it, but you can just see it there on the computer. Lovely dog, a good story, thank God. Got rescued from a fire and was given oxygen there by the Cork Fire Brigade. And just to go into that picture there, you can just see that dog there, and you can just see the oxygen being administered there by the Cork Fire Brigade there. Okay, so just take a look at that picture there now. Okay, so why I'm making this video today is I just when I just saw this story, it just brought me back to our story, to Lexi's story on April the 18th, 2023, when we brought Lexi to the vets. Lexi was in respiratory distress, like severe respiratory distress, and all we were given on the night, I just want to show you something here. This is just off a nebulizer for a human, obviously, but it's kind of the same context. You have the mask and you have the tube, and it's connected. Now there's other parts, but I'm not going to show you all the other parts that, you know, are connected, but you get the gist. And why the mask is there is so you get a more even and proper flow of oxygen, and also the saturation of oxygen. But just to think back in Lexi's story, we brought Lexi to the vet on April the 18th, 2023, as I said, in severe respiratory distress, which is in all her medical notes. All Lexi was given on that night was a tube, just a tube, and she was getting oxygen by what we call flow by oxygen, just like that. Look, just like that, with a tube. And we do have the videos to prove all this. We do have the CCTV of the night in question. That's what she was given. And it just really brings this home to me when I see that we have firefighters, you know, brilliant firefighters that can administrate oxygen to a dog properly. These are firefighters, you know, fair play to them, hats off to them, highest respect to them. And to think that in our case we went to a vet, you know, and into a veterinary clinic with a dog with severe respiratory distress, and look, that's what we got. Just a tube, flow by oxygen, no mask, nothing, just given like that. Just given like that to Lexi. That's all she got. And I also want to state as well that my husband had to ask for the oxygen, because when we went in it wasn't even given to us at first. My husband requested the oxygen, and this is what we got. And I think this is very important that people hear our stories, because our stories have to get out to the general public of what's going on in this country, because nobody else is listening. That people are getting substandard veterinary care, animals are suffering, Lexi suffered, and we have suffered an awful lot, and it's very important that our stories get out. And I just want to say as well, it's on Lexi's medical notes as well. Now I can't show obviously everything on these notes, but what's written on it here: when Lexi went to the vets the 18th of April 2023, her respiratory rate was less than 50 with abdominal effort. Her mucous membranes were pale pink. Now, she was in severe distress, you know. She couldn't get up because she was so weak, and I suppose she was just fighting for oxygen, and you could see that too with the abdominal movements, of the movement of her stomach, that she was in distress. Just to think, that's what we got. That. From a vet in a veterinary clinic. Now, like anyone know, like if you're getting oxygen like that, if a human was getting oxygen like that, okay, for whatever reason you need oxygen, or an animal, like up like that, look at the waste, look at all the oxygen that's just going into the air. What is that doing for an animal? What would that do for a human to get oxygen like that? I'll just give it up a bit closer there. That's what Lexi got on the night. It's absolutely scandalous. And I want to also say, I asked then, did the veterinary clinic have an oxygen tent? Because Lexi, being as critical as she was and in such respiratory distress, she should have been in an oxygen tent. And I was told on the night that they had no oxygen tent for large dogs. Like, can you imagine that? like, it's very hard to comprehend and even believe all this. Now, I just have another piece of paperwork here. And this is from the veterinary clinic in question. I did request to the clinical director about the oxygen tent. And I wanted to know, did they have an oxygen tent? Because there was indiscrepancies, because we had met with the clinical director and we had asked about this oxygen tent, because we were told by the vet on the night in question that there was no oxygen tent for large dogs. And then we never got a proper answer off them. That's the bottom story. We got a letter back, and the letter was like a politician's letter, you know, where they evade the question. But to this day, we have no proof. There's nobody who can confirm if they had an oxygen tent. As I said, the vet on the night in question said they didn't. But when I asked and wrote in to confirm this, the question was just evaded. The answer, there's still no answer, and we still don't have an answer. And I suppose what I'm trying to say is, like, just looking at what the firefighters could do for a dog, it really hits me and brings it home to me about the lack of care that Lexi got on the April 18th, the lack of humanity, the lack of compassion. You know, it's really, really saddens me, and it really hurts me to think what they done to Lexi on that night, you know. And I just want to say this, like, when I'm making this video, I know there's people watching this video who are in the veterinary industry. You know, vets watch these videos, veterinary nurses, and they know, okay, that Lexi was wronged on that night. I just want to go back and show this, like, because it is really unbelievable. There, a dog in severe respiratory distress, that's the oxygen. And it had to be requested. The oxygen was requested by my husband. And that's what we got. And this was up to Lexi's face. Sure, what was Lexi getting? No mask. Sure, all the oxygen was just up into the air. Like, it was doing nothing for Lexi. And to request an oxygen tent then, and to be told they don't have an oxygen tent for large dogs. Like, that is just unbelievable. Like, that is substandard veterinary care. I mean, why are you looking after large dogs if you don't have the facilities in an emergency situation? And we were in an emergency situation and the facilities weren't there. It was very, very disappointing. And as I said in previous videos, like, we've written to the VCI, Veterinary Council of Ireland, numerous times, and it's shocking, their response. They just don't want to know. They don't want to know, and they're just looking the other way. And it's absolutely scandalous what people in this country are going through. You know, people that are victims of veterinary malpractice. As I said this before, like, there's nowhere for people to go. There's no support. Like, the VCI should be there for the people, and they're not. And I want to ask the people of Ireland, and anyone else who's watching in here from abroad, okay? You know, it's kind of an insult to people's level of intelligence. Just take another look at that, okay? A dog in severe respiratory distress, that's what they get. That's what they get. That's the oxygen. As I said, requested by my husband. Wasn't offered when we went in first. Requested by my husband for oxygen, and that's what we got. You know, it's a very sad state of affairs. And to see that the Cork Fire Brigade can administrate oxygen better than the vet did on the night in question for us. It's just crazy, lads, what's going on in this country. Absolutely crazy. And this is why I'm making these videos. I want to highlight this to the public. And I know, like, we're not the only ones in this situation. There is, as I said before, people up and down this country having experiences like us. And you need to speak out. Because if people don't speak out, the standards of veterinary care are going to continue to just go down in this country. And you know, there's going to be loads more stories like us. And I don't want that, because Lexi suffered immensely. She didn't get adequate veterinary care, and she had a horrendous death by euthanasia that was inhumane. And, you know, we don't want this happening to anyone else. And we've, as a family, we've suffered immensely, absolutely immensely, because we witnessed all this. This isn't something that you can forget. This isn't something that you get over. You'll never get over this in your life. You'll never get over this. But it really does hurt me and sadden me when I see that, you know, you've got the fire brigade that can administer oxygen better to a dog than a vet, than what happened to us on April the 18th, 2023. It really is shocking, people. This is Ireland. This is our veterinary care, and we're not supposed to say anything. Like, we're supposed to just shut up and go away. I don't think so. I don't think so. This, you know, has to be spoken about. We have to speak out for our animals. They're our pets. They're family to us. They matter. Our animals matter. We matter. Us, our families matter. You know, it just seems to be all one-sided with the VCI. It's just all, let's protect the vets and forget about the people. Well, without the people, where would the vets be? They wouldn't have any business without the people. So we need change in Ireland. So if anyone else has a story as well, you know, please just get the courage and the strength to share it. It's very important, because it's only the people now that are going to make change in this country. Like, the government aren't going to do anything. The VCI, Veterinary Council of Ireland, they're not going to do anything. Now, I just want to go back again. I always show this book. This is VCI, the Veterinary Council of Ireland. This is their book, Code of Professional Conduct for Veterinary Practitioners. As I said, you can request this off the VCI, this book. And I've said this before, this book is not worth the paper that it's printed on, because they don't follow any of their own guidelines. They make up all these regulations and guidelines, but they're not following them. Like, there's no, you know, you tell me an animal in severe respiratory distress comes into a vet's, okay? And it's the owner has to ask for the oxygen. In our case, my husband. And this is what you get. That's what you get. Imagine it, 2023. It's just unbelievable. And to think that our firefighters, okay, Cork firefighters can administrate oxygen better than a vet. Like, what is wrong with this country? And I just want to say fair play to those firefighters, because if we had met those firefighters that night, Lexi would have got better care. I mean, how sad is that? Like, that's just pathetic. Like, absolutely pathetic. So, yeah, it saddens me a lot and it hurts me a lot. Just to come to that realisation, you know, it just brings it all back home to me, actually, about that night, and just about the substandard veterinary care that Lexi received. You know, it's just not good enough. And I'm supposed to shut up. I'm not supposed to say anything. You know, and this is what a lot of people in our situation are getting. We're not supposed to say anything. Well, I'm sorry, our stories matter, our pets matter, and we matter. So it's time, as I said, for people to speak out. So let this go viral. Let that go viral. Ireland, 2023. A dog in severe respiratory distress. Owners have to ask for the oxygen, and this is what you get. This is what you get, people. Okay? So, like, subscribe, share. Be the change, lads. Be the voice. Remember, animals have no voice, and be the light. And when I ask for like, subscribe and share as well, it's just so that to help with the algorithms, because these videos, they don't get traction really. And I suppose, to be fair, to be honest, they're kind of shadow banned and they're kind of silenced. Anyone that tries to speak up is silenced, you know. A lot of projection goes on, and they try and take your, I've said this before, they'll try and take your character, and you're this and you're that, and they'll defame you. But at the end of the day, this is our story. This is what happened to Lexi. It's our story, and I choose to share it with the public. Why? Because I want change. I want change in Ireland. I want people to have a better service and better confidence when they go to the vets. Like, I can't trust a vet now, which is sad, for the rest of my life. There's no way I could, after what I've experienced with Lexi. And it shouldn't be that way. And, you know, a lot of people, as I said, they go to the VCI. That's your first kind of stop, I suppose, you go after an experience like this. And for anyone that's watching abroad or doesn't know, the VCI is the Veterinary Council of Ireland, and you don't get anywhere. They don't do anything for you. Because how can the VCI think that's okay for an animal in severe respiratory distress? That, you know, that's okay. Because I think we all know, you know, don't insult our level of intelligence. That's not okay. That's not sufficient. That's not proper veterinary medical care for an animal in severe respiratory distress. So Ireland, you can do better. You could do a lot better. And the VCI need to get their head out of the sand now and listen to the people and stop all this brushing it under the carpet and protecting the vets. You know, animals are suffering, animals are dying, and people are suffering, and we want an end to this. So if anyone else has stories, please share them. And as I said, like, subscribe, share. Get this video out there. Help with the algorithms and help get Lexi's story out there. And we are still fighting for justice for Lexi, and we will not stop. Because Lexi was our beautiful German Shepherd. She was family to us. And we miss her dearly. We love her dearly, and we miss her dearly. And we'll keep fighting for justice. Thank you very much, and have a nice day. Bye.